If your vendor list sorts everything into critical and non-critical, I want to show you why that's not going to survive our regulator's question. Hi, I am Pakhi Garg from the World Cyber Security Forum, and here are 3 mistakes I see privacy teams make with their vendor risk. Mistake number 1, calling 2 buckets a tiering model. So your payroll processor holds salary and identity data for everyone you employ. Your stationery supply holds nothing. So in a 2-bucket world, they can end up in the same place, and it's never the stationery supply who gets over-assessed. So if the payroll processor who gets under-assessed, the one vendor whose failure lands in you. So a real model score a vendor on what drives the risk. What data do they touch and how much? What access do they have? Where does it go? What breaks if they fall? 2 buckets is a filling habit. Tiering is a risk judgment. Risk number 2, thinking the contract is the control. A data processing agreement is a document. It tells you what the vendor promised. It does not tell you whether they are doing any of it or not. So subsection 1 of section 8 of the DPDP Act is clear, which clearly mentions that you stay responsible for whatever processing has been done on your behalf, whatever the contract shows. So we had a contract with them is not a defense. The contract is the floor, not the finish line. So if the last time you looked at a vendor was that a day you signed the DPA, you don't have the control, you just have a piece of paper. Mistake number 3, assessing once and never again. So you onboard a vendor, you tick the box and you move on. But the vendor changes. They add a sub-processor you never approved of. They move on your data to a new country. They drop a certification. They have a breach and didn't tell you for the next 3 weeks. None of that shows up if you looked only once at onboarding and never again. Your critical vendors need a cadence quarterly. Who are their sub-processors now? Is the current certification valid or not? What has changed? So the organizations that get caught out aren't the ones with the bad vendors. They are the ones who actually stopped looking. So stop calling 2 buckets a tiering model, stop treating your contract as the control, and stop assessing once and walking away. If you want to know the full method, the scoring method, the questionnaire, the DPA clauses that matter, the monitoring cadence, that's exactly what we are going to cover in our certified hands-on practical training on third-party risk management, which is going to be scheduled on 22nd and 23rd of August. 10 hours live workshop, templates you keep, a certificate at the end, led by Mr. Tanin Chakraborty, who had acted as an ex-global DPO and a senior director, and comes with a huge amount of experience. 2 things for you. The free metric tiers I mentioned is in the description. Please feel free to reach out. And if you want a seat on the workshop, the registration link is also right there. Or message us on the WhatsApp. We are keeping this really small. So if you are interested, do it rather than the late. Thank you very much for watching.